You ever walk into a place expecting a quiet night, only to have someone size you up and decide you don't belong? That's what happened when I stepped into my own restaurant, Leclerc, in the heart of Santa Monica, and a waitress named Chloe figured my old sweatshirt meant I couldn't afford a seat. I'm Marcus Big M Thompson, retired NBA star, part owner of this fancy spot, and let me tell you, when I turned her smug attitude into a lesson on respect, it wasn't just about me. It was about showing everyone in that room what it means to see people for who they really are. It was a Friday night in Santa Monica, the kind where the ocean breeze mixes with the glow of high-end restaurants, and Leclerc was buzzing. Chandeliers sparkling, tables packed with folks in designer suits and dresses that cost more than my first car. I'm a big guy, over 7 feet, hard to miss, but I wasn't there to make a scene. After a long day mentoring kids at my youth center, I threw on a gray hoodie, some beat-up sneakers, and headed to Leclerc for a low-key dinner. Maybe check on how the staff was holding up. This place is special to me. Not just a business, but a dream I built with my partners to be a spot where anyone could feel welcome, from ballers to bus drivers. I picked a small table in the corner, hoping to blend in, but the second I sat down, I felt eyes on me. Chloe, a young waitress with a tight bun and a smile that didn't reach her eyes, was working the floor. She'd been with us a while, always polished, but I'd heard whispers she could be sharp with folks who didn't look the part. When she spotted me, her face twitched, like my hoodie was an insult to her chandeliers. She strutted over, menu in hand, and didn't even try to hide her judgment. "You sure you're in the right place? This is fine dining, you know." Her voice was loud, sharp, cutting through the jazz band's soft notes, and heads turned. I felt that old sting, not anger, but the weight of being sized up for how I looked, not who I was. Leclerc was my sanctuary, a place I poured my heart into, and her words were like spitting on that dream. But I faced worse on the court and off it, so I just smiled and said, "Think I'll give it a try." She smirked, like she'd already won, and I knew this wasn't just a bad day. She was trying to put me in my place, and I wasn't about to let that slide. Chloe didn't stop there. She led me to the worst table, right by the kitchen where pots clanged and steam wafted, dropping the menu with a thud that echoed her attitude. "This spot's perfect for you." I caught the glances from nearby tables, some curious, some uncomfortable, like they knew she was out of line but didn't want to get involved. She leaned in, voice dripping with sarcasm. "Need me to explain the prices? Our signature steak's $400. Hope that's in your budget." It was a challenge, plain as day. Her way of saying I didn't belong in her world of crystal glasses and silk napkins. I've been underestimated before. Grew up in a neighborhood where folks judged you by your shoes, not your heart. But this hit different. Leclerc was my place, built to lift people up, not tear them down, and Chloe was turning it into a stage for her own prejudice. I looked her in the eye, calm as ever. "I'll take the steak, thanks." Her smirk faltered, like she expected me to back down, and she huffed off, tossing over her shoulder to another waiter, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Guy thinks he's fancy, ordering the most expensive thing. Wait till he sees the bill." The room shifted, diners whispered. A couple shook their heads, and an older guy, Mr. Ellis, muttered to his wife, "She's out of line." But nobody spoke up, and that silence stung almost as much as Chloe's words. I sat there, sipping water, feeling the weight of every glance. Not because I was embarrassed, but because I knew this was bigger than me. It was about every person who'd ever been judged for how they looked, and I wasn't just eating dinner, I was setting up a lesson. Chloe kept at it, ignoring my table, fawning over others with fake smiles, making sure I waited longer than anyone else. She'd glide by, chatting up suits, while tossing barbs loud enough for me to hear. Some folks don't get what fine dining means. I could have called her out, could have flashed my status, but that's not my style. I learned long ago on the court, let your game do the talking. So I stayed cool, clapped for the jazz band, gave a nod to a kid staring from another table. Diners started noticing. Lisa, a young lawyer, whispered to her friend, "He's handling this better than I would." "She's awful." Mr. Ellis, sipping his wine, told his wife, "That guy's got more class than she'll ever know." Their words were quiet, but they were waking up, seeing Chloe's game for what it was. My steak finally came, plopped down with a sneer. Hope you can handle this. It's not for everyone. I just smiled, cut into it, savored the taste, and let her stew. Inside, I was mapping my move, not to humiliate her, but to show her and everyone what LeClaire was really about. I'd faced bigger opponents, from rival players to critics who said I'd never make it. This wasn't about proving I could pay the bill. It was about proving respect isn't something you earn with a suit. It's what you give, no questions asked. Chloe thought she was in control, but she was digging her own hole, and I was ready to hand her the shovel. The air in LeClaire got thick, not with the clink of glasses, but with tension, like everyone was waiting for the other shoe to drop. Chloe kept up her act, serving others with a grin while shooting me side-eye, betting I'd crack or bolt when the check came. She didn't know I'd been watching, not just her, but the room. Diners shifting from curious to mad, staff like Jake, her coworker, looking uneasy. Then the manager, Tom Reynolds, came out, a sharp guy who'd helped me open this place years ago. He spotted me, eyes wide, and hurried over, bowing slightly. "Marcus, man, it's an honor. I'm so sorry for the wait. We didn't know you were here." The room froze. Chloe, tray in hand, went pale, her smug grin gone like it had been slapped off. Diners gasped, whispering, "That's Marcus Thompson, the NBA champ? He owns this place." Lisa leaned forward, grinning. "Oh, this just got good." Mr. Ellis chuckled, raising his glass. I kept it cool, nodding to Tom. Just wanted a quiet meal, no fuss. But my eyes locked on Chloe, not angry, just steady, letting her feel the weight of her mistake. She judged me by my sneakers, not knowing I'd poured my heart into LeClaire to make it a place for everyone. I wasn't mad. I was ready to teach, and the whole room was my classroom. I stood, all 7 feet of me, and the chatter died. Every eye was on me, from Chloe's panicked stare to the band pausing mid-note. I spoke, voice low but clear, filling the space. LeClaire was built to welcome everybody. Doesn't matter what you wear, what you got in your wallet. That's the dream I signed up for. I looked at Chloe, her hands shaking, and kept going. But tonight we fell short. Respect ain't something you pick and choose. It's for every soul who walks through that door. The room was silent, forks down, waiters frozen. I turned to Chloe, not to crush her, but to challenge her. "What do you think we owe our guests, Chloe?" She stammered, tears welling. I'm sorry. I didn't know who you were." I shook my head. "You don't need to know who I am to treat me right. Every person deserves that. What'll you do different?" Her voice broke. "I'll respect everyone, I swear. I was wrong. It wasn't just words. I saw the shame, the spark of something real." Diners nodded, Lisa clapping softly, Mr. Ellis murmuring, "That's how you lead." I faced the crowd. This ain't just on Chloe. We all gotta call out wrong when we see it. Silence lets it grow. The applause started slow, then roared, not for me, but for the truth we all felt. I sat down, finished my steak, and let the room breathe, knowing I'd planted a seed. Not just in Chloe, but in every heart there. After closing, I met the staff in the dim dining room, chandeliers low, chairs circled like a team huddle. Chloe stood in the back, eyes red but steady, and I spoke to them all. "We're not just serving food here. We're building a place where people feel valued. Mistakes happen, but what you do next is what counts." I looked at Chloe. "You got a chance to make this right, not for me, but for you. Can you do that?" She nodded, voice soft. "I will, Mr. Thompson. I promise." Tom stepped up, vowing to retrain everyone. Make LeClaire live up to its name, light for all. As I walked out into the Santa Monica night, ocean air cool on my face, I thought about Chloe's tears, the diner's applause, the kid who smiled at me. LeClaire wasn't just my restaurant anymore. It was a beacon, proof that kindness can shift a room, a heart, maybe even a town. Willow Creek's talking about it, folks sharing stories of being judged, vowing to do better. I felt it walking under the stars, not pride, but hope, The kind that comes when you see people wake up. Chloe's changing, I think, but the world's full of folks like her. Quick to judge, slow to learn. What do you think? Was I right to call her out? To turn her mistake into a lesson for us all? Or should I have just let it go? Drop a comment. Share a time you faced down judgment. If someone tried to shame you like that, would you stay calm and teach or walk away? Tell me, I'm listening.